Welcome, everybody, to Everyday Ethics. And you've just seen Persephone make a horrific face. I don't really know what that was all about. I think I do now. She forgot to post to Twitch, and she's flipping out about it. But we are going to be fine. I'm sure she has some great topics for us today. We've got a question to answer. And of course, we are very appreciative of any super chats and super stickers that you may send. With that, I will turn it over to Persephone, and she can let us know what is what.
Please don't forget to go and follow us on Twitch. Please also don't forget to go and find these podcasts on Spotify and listen to them and leave a rating because it's very helpful. Please also go check out the merch. That would be great.
That would be fan-freaking-tastic.
It would be fan-freaking-tastic. Also, because the merch is really cool. You know I made it myself, but I think it's rad.
Rad?
It's rad.
All right, it's rad.
Do you know what we say in South Africa?
Well, you call car horns hooters, so
yeah,
there's no
hooter.
telling.
It's a hooter. You stop at the robots. We don't call them traffic lights or stoplights. We call them robots.
Yeah, because you're a primitive folk. But either way,
no,
what do we got going on?
I still wanted to tell you. Do you know what we say in South Africa if something's cool?
I haven't got the slightest.
Besides lacquer, people of like my generation say kif. That's so kif.
That's very lame. Do you celebrate May 1st? I have no idea.
Well, we do have a public holiday tomorrow, but it's Workers' Day in South Africa.
Piss poor country, and they're worried about celebrating Workers' Day.
Yeah.
You might want to worry about getting running water.
It's cool though, because I love public holidays. They definitely affect me as an entrepreneur who owns their own business and therefore does not take the day off ever. But it's Workers' Day. And Monday was a public holiday as well. Can't remember what Monday was.
All right, so what's happening?
So we have a question from Akira, and I haven't pre-read this. You're gonna come along with me. So he says, I've been chatting with a trans activist, and they told me that the people who use the whole "I can't respect your preferred pronouns because I respect reality" argument are full of it. They made the point that especially religious conservatives have no ground to stand since they believe in Sky Daddy. According to them, in order to be consistent about their concern about reality, those people would have to be like a Dr. House type of jerk who can't help themselves but say what they're thinking because facts are just so important and they don't have time for manners, social cues, or being nice. Why is honesty equated with being rude? Why is it that lying is perceived as being nice? Wouldn't it be the other way around? How is knowing what you're talking about a bad thing? How is it rude to take words seriously? Is Michael the real-life Dr. House? I was asking myself if I'm part of the problem because the other day when you were talking about labels, Persephone and I were trying to make Michael understand how the word label is used in discourse while he was trying to use it correctly based on a valid concept. And it wasn't until he said he didn't care how many people misuse the word, he's going to use it correctly, that I stopped arguing about it. Are we millennials just as corrupt as Zoomers, or is Michael secretly a boomer?
Michael kicks ass and takes names.
True.
But there's a lot to sort of unpack there. You remember when we actually had that discussion, and what I said was that not the discussion about labels, maybe it was the same discussion, but about using words correctly and using definitions correctly. So people say they're not going to call a man a woman. And I said, okay, I'm okay with that. But then let's be precise in all our definitions because most of the people aren't. And when people who aren't precise in the language that they use suddenly become very concerned with it when it comes to trans people, There's an ulterior motive. Similarly, for people who claim, they don't like, homosexuality is a sin and they're so opposed to it, but maybe they're working their little asses off on the Sabbath or, an abundance of other things. They're not living the Bible. Let's just put it that way. Again, I'm suspicious.
Also, a lot of people who are very homophobic, well, a lot of guys who are homophobic, uh, also consume like lesbian porn, which I
Okay.
think is.
Yeah, I once had an argument with an Israeli cellmate of mine about that very thing. About because at the time I was, practicing Judaism, and he told me, no, there's nothing wrong with lesbians. It's just dude on dude that's the problem.
Oh, because a man shall not lie with another man, but they don't ever say anything about women.
I almost just said something sick because
Say
yeah,
it. I promise not to clip it and put it on the internet.
no, 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 no. We don't want to say that. But no, the point is that I'm all for reality and not making up things and not lying to people and not just pretending things to make people feel better. But I'm like that in every area of my life. So I'm not going to just do it in the one thing where I happen to dislike a phenomenon. You understand? Is that making sense to you?
It does make sense. So the thing that he says about like how why is it that lying is perceived as being nice and honesty is equated with being rude? So in Inside the Criminal Mind, right?
Okay.
Samanow says talks about lying, and he basically says that we all lie, right? If your friend says like, "Does this haircut suit my face?" and you think it looks terrible, like you lie and you say, "No, it looks fine,"
I
or
don't.
"No, I know." This is the thing. It's so widely accepted that you know white lies are fine, that in this book where he's talking about like the criminal mind, etc., etc., he distinguishes from the lies that criminals tell, and like just everybody lies. It says everybody lies in their day-to-day life, so it's true. Lying is perceived as the socially accepted nice way to go about things, and to be honest is to be a jerk.
Um,
Did you just get distracted by the comment?
no, I can hear what you're saying and read the comments at the same time. So I think that some people are sensitive and they don't want to be told the truth. That's part of it. I also think that there's a mistake, and we talked about this. I think I talked about it yesterday, even maybe, or maybe it was the day before. It doesn't matter. Where just because you want to tell the truth doesn't mean you have to run around being a dick. Like I don't have to go to the mall and if I see a heavy lady tell her, "Oh, you're really overweight." Or, see some dude with a lame haircut and tell him, "Hey dude, your haircut sucks." I don't need to do that. What you need to do, but if somebody asks, I'm telling the truth.
So I have a question because I saw a TikTok about this yesterday. Actually, it was really funny. So it's this couple, and one of them has autism and one of them has ADHD, and they sort of post videos about life, whatever. So they were talking about this exact topic about like honesty is rude and lying is the better option in a lot of cases. So she was saying that she asked him, "Do you remember when I cut micro bangs and I was so upset because I'd botched them?" So she'd cut her own micro bangs, but she'd cut them way too short, and she was really upset because she'd fucked up her hair, and she was crying, and she went downstairs, and this is her husband of like 10 years. So she goes downstairs and she's crying, and she asks him, like, did I completely fuck up my hair? And he said, well, it is a bit short. And he gave her a hug and he was like trying to comfort her. But the first thing that he said, he didn't say like, oh, it's fine, you look okay. He didn't lie to her. He said to her, it is a bit short. And so now, months later, she says they're talking about honesty. And she said, in that moment, like, what I wanted you to do was to tell me that everything was going to be okay. And then he said to her, but then I'd be lying to you. And she was like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I want you to lie to me in that moment because I'm so upset. Like, I want you to lie to me. And he said, but you would have known that I was lying. And she says, yes, I would have known that you're lying because I can see for myself that my bangs were fucked up. But I needed you to lie to me in that moment because I was already so upset.
Okay.
Thoughts?
I think it's stupid. I'm not lying to people. I don't.
What do you...
I don't know. Like this is where we're getting into. Okay, because so people are sensitive. They don't want the truth. Okay, I got it. Then don't ask me my opinion. Right? Don't ask me a question. We have a question right now that I'm going to answer in a moment. Right? And here's the thing. If you don't want my answer, don't ask me. I'm not running around telling everybody what they're doing wrong or what my thoughts are on their choices or their haircut or their cat-eared headphones or anything else. But if you ask me a question, I'm not here to fucking soothe your insecurities. That's not my purpose in life, right? It reminds me of when I'm in prison and your cellmate thinks that I live to entertain him. You don't ever want to talk. Yeah, dude, I don't want to talk to you. I have things to do. I'm not here. My sentence didn't include go to prison and entertain Tex, because that's one of the guy's names. Tex, I, for instance, had stopped talking to people in prison. Every time somebody I knew left the block, when somebody new came in, I didn't introduce myself. I didn't talk to them because my stress was largely caused by associating with too many people. Later on, he was my cellmate, and he says, when I moved in this block, you didn't even talk to me. I told him, what am I, the fucking welcoming committee? Like, that's not my job. I'm not here for that. And it's the same thing. If you don't want an answer, don't ask a question. I have this utter disdain for that. If you cooked a meal, don't say to me, oh, how is it? Because you just want a phony pat on the back. Because you're not getting it from me. If you want the truth, ask. And I don't understand, to be honest, if you want me to lie anyway, then how is that helping you? If I say to you, Persephone, am I a good talk show host? Why? How is it helping me if you're lying to me? And I know people, no, you don't interrupt. I have more to say. I know people that it gets to the point now, because everybody knows that everybody does that when they tell you something, you now don't believe it anyway. So you say, yeah, but is that what she really wants? Hey, can we go to the store now? And then somebody says, yeah, I'd like to go to that store. Yeah, but do you really want to go? Because they know it's bullshit. No time for that.
No, I get you. And I agree with you 98%. But I also understand where this woman is coming from. Because
where is she coming from? What do you mean?
If it's like your romantic partner or your friend that you've known for like 15 years and you're already super upset and you just want to be comforted, is it right? No, but I do get it.
I get it. It's insecurity, and you want somebody to lie to you. This is everyday ethics.
Yes.
The point is should you be doing that? And the answer is no. Well, I mean, don't do that to me. Don't ask me a question if you don't want the answer. Please, anybody listening, watching, whatever, don't ever ask me a question if you don't want the answer.
Michael, what do you think of my headphones?
I think they kind of fit your personality, but I do think that they give kind of an unprofessional look to the show. But they do fit you, and they are, they're cute. They are cute. But if somebody's just flipping through and that's what they see, probably not, not going to be their thing.
Do you think I should get new headphones for the show?
I don't really care. That's not like top priority for me. It's not something I think about, but you asked, so I told you. So we have a question from Katie. Katie says, I have a question. If I see somebody jump into a conversation being hateful towards a person because the person lives in a country that they have a problem with, am I wrong for calling them out for? Okay. Is it safe to assume that this is taking place on X? That's what I need to know first, Katie. So you tell me first. Is it a conversation on X? No, I get. Akira Field says he loves the heck out of your headphones. I like them too. But that's not what I'm addressing. I think they're cute. I think they fit Persephone's personality. And I think that if somebody is watching the show already, they'll get it and it will be fine. I'm just saying that somebody that's somewhere else.
That it gives an unprofessional vibe.
Right. I don't know. Maybe not unprofessional might not be the look. Maybe unserious might be the
I get that.
way
I mean,
that I'm going.
especially if you see people just instantly dismiss you because you're wearing cat ear headphones, because that happens on TikTok. So Katie says, yes,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
on Twitter.
Okay, Katie. So I'm going to give you the full answer. The propensity that Katie and some of these other folks that are in the group have to jump in and think that people need to be defended on Twitter, it's a little weird and it's entirely unnecessary. So when somebody is arguing with Mark, there's a bunch of women that immediately want to jump in and they don't come in and make like logical refutations of what somebody else is saying. They jump in and like, fuck you, Mark's wonderful. And it doesn't help anything. And it makes it look like, dude, you need these random women to come help you. I don't get why that is. Like if somebody is addressing Mark logically or they make an argument, I'll come in. But if it's, I'm going to choke you and you're a pussy, like I'm not getting in with that. Like I don't see the point. So I get, like, so Katie says it is and it was a friend, but she constantly does this to people just because what is happening in her own country. She's blaming everyone. I know who you're talking about now. And this shit is so annoying to me, Katie, to be perfectly honest with you. Let me put out something for everybody. No, I'm not saying it was Mark you were defending. That's just what I usually see. For anybody watching, I never, ever need to be defended. Ever. Not like that. Like I don't need somebody to stick up for me. I'm an adult. I can stick up for myself. Now, if you want to come into a philosophical discussion, or if somebody attacks my character and that's it, and you say, no, you're wrong, cool. But getting into the fuck you and you're a bitch and you're a stupid or whatever else, no. No, I'm not with that. Oh, yeah, okay, Katie. So Katie is explaining now. So Katie, this is what I don't want you to do. Okay, you asked me a question, right? You asked me a question. So I'm giving you my answer. You developing your point is not going to change my answer, Katie. I'm telling you the truth because you asked me for it. People don't need, if it's somebody that wants you to do that, by all means do it. But the degree to which I see this done, no. Again, Akira says he doesn't comment on my Facebook book post because I can handle the heat. I can handle the heat. Now, it's helpful if sometimes if I'm in a debate with somebody, if there's people that come in and give their point of view on the debate, but the type of sticking up that I'm talking about on X, no, it's just not necessary. Now, Mark may have a different view than I do. I'm not like on the line discussing this with him. So he might say, hey, yeah, come to my aid. I doubt it, but I'm just saying that I don't know why it's like we have to defend Mark. It's like Mark has a whole circle of people that jump in and start defending him. And Katie, you're by no means the only one. There's an abundance of them. It's just not necessary. Okay, go ahead, Persephone.
I also think that that doing that is bad for your own mental health.
Yeah.
especially on Twitter, because it is full to the brim of dickheads, and you will not win that fight. You will not, because it's like trying to play chess with a pigeon. Genuinely, you're never going to win. They're going to drag you down. You're going to get stuck in a like hours or days long conversation, and it's just going to be back and forth of shit talking at each other. They're not going to benefit. You're not going to benefit.
Right.
Like, just block them and move on with your life.
Yes.
Most of the time, what they want is they want you to get riled up, and they will say whatever they can to get under your skin, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to have an emotional reaction. That's what gets them off.
What am I doing to Jim? What did I do, Jim, that you want me to do to you? But yeah, you're like, I don't even do that for myself. I'm not getting into those types of discussions with people. I'm just not.
No.
Like, it's so, you're a jerk, you're a jerk. No, it's not ethical to hate everyone in a country for something that's beyond their control. No. Is it in your interest, though, to jump into those discussions every time? No. Right, Persephone? Right, Sephi?
It's just not. It's really not. It's not in your best interest. You're not helping anyone. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping the other person. Ugh.
Yeah.
Like there was a dude on Twitter the other day that I know a couple of people got into a fight with, and he commented on one of my posts, and I exchanged 2 responses with him, and then he kept responding, and I was like, who cares? It's on Twitter. Twitter is not even a real place. They're not real people.
Twitter?
It's just Twitter. Yeah, it's stupid. It's not worth your time. There's better things that you could be doing rather than exchanging silly messages on the silly bird app. It's not the bird app. It's not the bird app anymore. He changed the logo, but it used to be the bird app.
Hey, Danny's here.
I've only helped with your debate with Jeff. Oh, there was one time that I weighed in on, your Facebook comments.
No, but I don't. Here's the thing. I'm not saying don't ever help or don't ever comment. I'm saying getting into verbal, like, fuck you, he's great, you're a jerk, like that stuff.
It's stupid. It's really stupid. It's not worth your time.
I've gotten annoyed. Like, Mark and I one time were in a debate with, I think, communists. Maybe I'm wrong. Online. And we're going back and forth. And then we had the inevitable women coming in. Fuck you. And it's like, I told one of them, and she's gone away now. I don't know what the hell ever happened to her. She claimed to have committed suicide. That was a lie. I don't know her name. Who the hell knows what she is? But anyways, I told her, stop helping.
James wants you to be brutally honest about him.
Well, what do you want me to be honest about? You got to ask a question.
Do you think...
I don't know what you want. I
don't know. I mean, we've only really got like 7 minutes left, and the topics that I had... Do you want to hear a really stupid question that someone asked on the Moral Dilemma subreddit?
All right.
I love ruining your life. It's so fun. So someone asked, and genuinely, he said, is it immoral to sell fake vapes to high school kids? And he said, my school has a really bad vaping issue. I recycle vapes, and I've been thinking about how I can make money off the kids' stupidity. Would it be immoral to sell them vapes with water in the vaporizer instead of nicotine juice?
Yeah.
And he posted this in the Moral Dilemmas subreddit, and it was
But
like,
that's not a moral dilemma. That's idiotic.
It is, but apparently this was something that he was really struggling with, and he was fighting for his life in the comments because he was saying, "Oh, but I'm trying to help them not vape." Everyone was like, you're so full of shit.
So then
Like,
give them to him then.
yeah, you're doing this to make money. Like,
Yeah.
don't try and hide behind like some altruistic, oh, I'm trying to help them stop vaping. And this is just something a person posted this and genuinely wanted opinions from people because this was something that they genuinely thought might be okay.
Okay. Let Persephone make her magic from Akira Felix. Okay. So he says, am I the real life Dr. House? No, because I'm not a pessimist and I'm not a curmudgeon. House was often just a dick who would go around telling people things for the, for the sake of it. But, and I forgot. Well, I don't know. That's not relevant. I don't want to get into that. What else do we got, Seffi?
So
I
here's
tell
an
you what we
interesting.
got. We got a great show coming up at 3:15 today.
We do, we do.
3:15 Eastern time. I always forget. You know what I get when I interview people that are in other time zones sometimes that we always screw it up. Not
Yeah,
always, but often.
it's 9:15 for me. So here was something that I thought was interesting. Do you think that lying, or do you think that willful ignorance is l- more or less ethical than lying?
I hate these questions.
I don't care.
No, but I mean, not that I hate that you asked me the question. I don't like to compare degrees of wrongdoing. Like, is this worse than this? So, is the explicit lie as bad as if you just don't say anything, but people are relying on you? Or am I ignoring facts? Is that as bad as lying? If you're ignoring facts, you're doing something wrong. I don't need to compare that to lying to somebody else.
No, true. Do you think that willful ignorance is as bad as outright lying?
Yes, I just answered the question.
Just clarifying.
I just think, I mean, in some ways, it's even worse because you're actually willfully leading yourself to not know something. Obviously, that's harmful to yourself. It should be
Yeah,
obvious anyway.
I think so. I think so. This person says that they think that willful ignorance is worse than lying because in both circumstances you're saying something false, but the difference is that the person who's willfully ignorant feels less guilty or more noble. They're held less responsible and they need to do less work.
That's no, that's got nothing to do with anything. This person, this is part of the problem. Is these people just have moral views that are in a floating in space that aren't connected to anything. So they say
Yes.
this is worse than this. But okay, why is either one bad? And see if they can tell you that. Probably not.
I mean, I'm not gonna engage with this person, but
Who
this is
told
one
you
of the
to?
this is one of the issues with the internet, right? I love the internet. The internet is great. Unfortunately, it does mean that it does mean that anybody can just put their thoughts out into the world as
World
facts.
into the world.
Into the into the world. I don't know how to say that in an American accent. Anybody can say anything and just go, this is true. This is a
No, but
fact.
you'll see that in I know in real life. This is how most people that I've come in contact with they just have moral assumptions,
Mm.
and they'll go from there. Like, oh yeah, that's horrible. This is worse. That that, but they're not basing it on anything. It's
No,
just
they're
whatever they happen to take the stuff in by osmosis from their reality, and that's it. Then from the people around them, and they believe it, and that's that. Yes, you should check out Jim and I have a great honesty chat out. It's on the Rational Egoist. It was a great discussion about the virtue of honesty. Also, Jim will be joining me on Saturday at noon Eastern time on the Capitalist Corner Weekend Edition. We're going to be discussing deontological and teleological ethics. Reclusi says the title of the stream is literally discussing your ethical questions, inviting ethical questions from people online. I'm asking the audience, though, Reclusi. Persephone is going and dragging up questions from other people. Not people didn't ask me.
Yeah, so if there are questions that come in on the website or in the chat, like
Yeah, I'm not
obviously
mocking them.
we're not going to do that, but so what I do is I go onto other
Yeah.
platforms and I find the questions that other people ask. So
Yeah.
no, I mean
Yeah.
if you're asking a question, we're not going to like shit all over you cuz that's
No, 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 no,
rude.
no. I'm not. But I will be honest. And if the question to be, I mean, if the question is not a relevant ethical question, or if it has no ethical bearing, or if it's an easy question, I'm gonna say so. But that's part of the whole idea, is to get people to think more clearly about ethics. So if somebody in the chat were to say, "What's worse?" I would say, I hate this type of question. And I would say, why? When I say I hate the question, I don't hate that somebody's asking the question. I hate that there's even a problem out there where people are struggling with this, because maybe I don't hate it. I know I do. I hate it, but I do like to discuss it. Maybe that's the best way. All right, we're out of time. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Reclusi. Thanks, everybody else, for getting involved in the discussion. Really appreciate it. Thanks to the wonderful and lovely Persephone. Thank you, Katie. Please tune in 14 minutes from now. Crime, Corrections, and Culture. The lovely Persephone, who's lovely with the cat ears, will be having a great discussion about inside the criminal mind. Thanks, everybody. Be ethical.
Bye.